Hey there team, and welcome to something quite special. Over the next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, I'm going to be posting up some little 1v1s. Now these 1v1s may be quite little in a way, but they are quite important as these are the finale battles to quite a grand 64 player tournament from last summer. These are quite old, but they're well aged, they're vintage 1v1s at this point. So these all take place between FFAMuffins and Get Rekt of the RA community. So what we're going to be doing, this first one is from Muffin's perspective, but I'm randomly choosing these. I have both. I've got Muffins replays and Get Rekt replays as well. So before each battle, I'm just going to roll the dice, and so that's the perspective that I'm going to be going from. Hopefully to throw some curveballs, but at the very end of the battle, no matter what, I'm going to be showing the other player's kill screen too, just so that we can really get a good idea of what's going on. I'll be trying my best. I like to think I'm okay at Reforged. I'm not bad, but I'm not a tournament level player, or not a high tier tournament level player. So I'll try my best to sort of slow down in points and really try to examine what's going on. This map is of course the gorgeous finale arena map. I love the original arena, which most of these battles were being played on, but Kuro was kind enough to craft a specific one for these final scraps. So yeah, nice, like relatively open, enough room to do what you want to do, but some nice trees, and there's still the same valley that, or quite a similar little valley to what we had before. I don't know if Muffins is going to be making use of that. Oh, I should probably actually do his army here. He's playing as Mirkwood, so he's got this Elders of the Elven King and Wardens of Ammon like really high tier archers right at the front. He's probably expecting a bit of a rush, so he's just got these exceptionally damaging archers right up there to do the damage right away. Double bows of Dweir to do more damage sort of throughout with their sort of swift skirmish horse archer idea. Cinder of the Girdle, exceptional spear cavalry. Ents there too, right in the centre. And then he's actually using this forest here to keep his guys hidden. Greenwood Watchers there, the assassin knife throwers. 3 units of them. And spears of Dweir, Elven King Palace Guard, and more spears of Dweir. Then some more woodland protectors in the forest behind. Okay, a little bit of a symmetrical little force there. Quite cool to have these sort of exceptional elite units out on their lonesome, but I guess they're protected from any cavalry action by the Sindar. Also, to advance into them, you're going to get shot by the bows of Dweir, and once the Sindar catch you, the Ents can come in and smash your face in. It's kind of the same thing that a lot of Orcish factions do with like a warg and troll combo. They grab you with the wargs, but it's actually the trolls eating you up in melee. Let's see what he's got today with Get Rekt's force. So playing as Mordor, so he might have a little, well, might be a very high tier warg push. We've got the orc fodder out front, yeah, absorbing that fire. Wardens of Ammon like firing right away, but this is something Muffins would be ready for. He's not going to use a volley on the likes of the orc fodder, and I'm sure he's not going to use a volley on the front of these. Oh, Sauron's well though. Are there any shields there? There are not any shields right in close, so that elven accuracy might be able to just rain some shots right into these orc maulers and Sauron's well. I would say the Sauron's well are most certainly worth a shot from the likes of the Wardens, and the Elders are opening up too. Anyway, Orc Javi's behind as well. Armor piercing, not so, not as effective up against Mirkwood, of course, but still good way to do damage very quickly. And there are some armored units for Mirkwood. Minas Morgul Chosen, and behind them some Temple Guard. Again, armor piercing today from Mordor. Minas Morgul Chosen and Orc lot. 3 units of Orc fodder, right? 4 even? Maybe even 4, jeepers sake. No, I think this is just 1 unit, just very well spread out. Jeepers, okay, using them nicely. Not as good to sort of absorb fire, but good to absorb a charge that way. Melkor's Chosen there, Olokai, and the Temple Inquisitors in the back. So we'll get going then. Yeah, of course, up against Mirkwood, this is something Get Rekt would have known. He's on the attack here. The longer he waits, Muffins is just going to be able to do so much damage to him. Let's see. That's a bit of a shame, though. These Orc fodder actually took a good volley there, and some of these lucky bastards are getting up. Goodness me, Orc fodder there, though, pushing a little bit in front of their Orc fodder, or Orc maulers here, pushing in front of their Orc fodder shield. So you did see they stopped running for a second. That's some really impressive micro from Get Rekt. Because of course we're going at 0.6 speed. This is happening a lot faster for them. Still more fire. And again, it's coming, okay, into the Orc Maulers. I don't think that's a bad idea. I'm surprised with the amount of armor piercing, to be honest, that Get Rekt has brought up against Mordor. I mean, up against Mirkwood. That's, yeah, it certainly is a surprise. Temple Executioners showing themselves. Now, yeah, that was a bit of a mistake from Get Rekt, having these guys stand out front. And they have been spotted with one quick volley. He's not killed any of them, but good few hit points taken out. Bows of Emond, we're emerging from the forest. They'll be pulling back shortly. I don't like the skirmish mode for Medieval 2, but it's good enough to keep you safe from infantry. And yeah, Orc fodder out here really extending far, far forward. And Muffins is not actually pulled back yet. Right, he's pulling back now, and he's just going to rely on that elven speed to get him away from those orcs. But yeah, he's going to make it. Oh, that's close, though. That's really close. And where are those... Ah, maybe missing an opportunity here from Get Rekt. That cavalry is a little bit too far back. And you see, maybe they were in skirmish mode, maybe they weren't. A few of them are getting caught there as Muffins pulls back. Now, right off the bat, 11% kills for nothing for Mordor. That's not a fun spot to be in for Get Rekt, but it's kind of something that you know is going to happen in the early stages of a fight against Mirkwood. So I'm sure he's not going to be too disheartened right off the bat. He's not actually spotted anything. They're all still in hiding. This is all he sees. This is going to be really scary, because say if Muffins is sort of just inviting him to charge right at this, which then he can fold around, maybe even run through that gap and get him behind him, get in his flanks. Ugh. Yeah, so you've got... Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we've done this from Muffins' perspective, actually. So that we can see where all of his hidden units are. Maybe I'll ponder that. If one force, I think, is going to be using a lot of hidden units, I might do it from their perspective. Still, more and more damage coming in to Get Rekt. 14%, again, for nothing. He's got no archers to counterfire here. He needs to get up in their face. But, at the same time, so many of those losses... are just orc fodder. We've still got 62 Temple Executioners. Halberds, I mean, yeah, sure, you kind of want them just to have that phalanx fight. Right, they've shunted their way forward again. Halberds taking that fire. And Temple Executioners over here also taking a bit of a beating. Halberds, oh goodness sake, the crossfire here. Any reveals? No reveals yet, but we're about to stumble upon them. Oh shoot, I'm going to need to think of thumbnails, am I? Maybe I'll just do... I think what I'll do for a thumbnail is just one standard thumbnail I'll go through all of them with. It means I don't have to stop mid-battle and take a picture, and also it means it's clear that all of these battles are related to each other. That could be good. So I'll have a think. Orc fodder rushing on in. And, yep, okay, discovered the Watchers now. Orc Maulers even, sorry, yeah, I would... Very worthy of a little... knife throw. 160 before the knives and 134 after. Sindar coming out too, as these elite elves pull back. Wardens used up their ammunition now, so they're just great little AP fighters. Those Orc Maulers running away, so that's a good little catch early on. They should return, but now the bulk of Get Rekt's army is arriving, and the cavalry, the Olakai, they're all still really nice and safe. Looking over this absolute mob of... Oh dear, it's just such a killing field. I love it when you do get the corpses just strewn across the battlefield like that. Orc Maulers received another charge there, down from 104 to 70. 69, dearie me, from one charge of the Sindar. Greenwood Watchers, I don't think they've used up all of their ammunition, but they're now just being asked to go toe-to-toe in melee, but up against the Saurons well. The Halberds, and... I mean, they should do okay as long as they don't get absolutely surrounded. Oh god, defeat is certain for these little assassins. That kind of surprises me. I get maybe it's the Temple Executioners, but no. Quite a surprise, to be sure. Still, we're starting to inflict some casualties, but we're almost 30% down as that's happening for Get Rekt here. Wardens Vamon like standing there. Elders still have some fire. Wardens only having 5 shots. I used to think they were armor-piercing archers. They're not. They're just very, very high damage. and Minas Morgul. So yeah, the likes of the Minas Morgul Chosen would tank their damage quite nicely, but not their axe damage. Certainly not. And not that Woodland Protector fire either. That is most certainly armor piercing. Using the forests quite nicely here. The Wood Elves. Halberds. I'll take a picture. No. I think I'll go for a very clear thumbnail. I think I've got some ideas what I want to do for it. So I won't go for any screenshots. I think it'll just end up blending into other battles. I want this to always be clear that these battles are all related to one another. So I'll do them in a similar style to how I do my campaigns, I think. We'll think about that. Anyway, halberds taking more javelin fire. As the clash, yeah, being committed. Generally, the orcs holding out quite nicely. I guess it is the executioners being in there. Spears of Emendwyr being this sort of militia elf. So very good defensive ability. And again, so much armor piercing crashing down on them. They're going to be able to just resist a lot of that with their high defensive skill coming from their spear and just the fact that they are an elf. More knives. And again, using that speed. Using those sorts of numbers in a way. It's not that Get Rekt is Get Rekt does outnumber him vastly, but it's just the case of Muffins currently has more numbers on the field, more units to play with, and oh god, that hurts. These guys are going to make contact and immediately rout. It's a damn shame to have all those maulers. At least they weren't armor upgraded, not a massive investment for them. They removed the heavy orc maulers that we used to have for Mordor, and now, you know, you just get that same model for the orc maulers with an armor upgrade, which I think is a good idea. Melkor's Chosen coming into alongside the Temple Inquisitor. Sorry, that's a real wrecking ball. I would have wanted to maybe have them come in separately, but I mean together they are just an absolute monstrosity, crashing on into the Wardens. Wardens lacking any sort of anti-cavalry bonus, but good troll killers. The Ents in there too, a bit weakened after fighting up against these Minas Morgul Chosen, but those Ents should do okay up against the Olokai. And the Melkor's Chosen cracking on through. Yeah, you don't want to keep those Melkor's Chosen and Inquisitors in there for too long, but I'm sure they will be getting out shortly. Still slicing them down. Elven King Palace Guard, they're in there now too. I'm going to make quick work of those Inquisitors if they stay there for too long. Yeah, this blob is still holding. I'm surprised at the morale of some of these, like, I guess it's just because we do have so many elite units around them. They're staying put quite nicely. Greenwood Watchers there, tying up the Temple Guard. It's not about killing the Temple Guard here, it's just stopping them from firing into us. And to be honest, we're doing okay in this fight. We're really doing okay. Bows of Emendwyr, they must be out of ammo by now. Yeah, they're out, but good bit of cycle charging from this unit. Still 53 of those deer riders, so they'll be able to slam themselves on in, unless the orc fodder grab them, which, yeah, that does seem to be what's happening right here. They've got them locked down, and that's orc fodder can't kill cavalry too well, but these very light mounted archers, they'll hurt them. They'll hurt them bad. Olokai, perhaps they're just a bit too much for the tired and weakened elves to deal with at this point. Warns of Ammon piercing through. This unit of Bows of Emendwyr pushing around the other side, not getting caught up by the orc fodder like their kin on the north. Javelins pouring on in, and yeah, 40 for 55. So that advantage is slipping away from Muffins as these javelins continue to pour on in. You would think it's maybe a little bit overkill to have those javelins, but they've done an exceptional amount of damage. Olokai, how many? 4 Ents left. Still 9 Olokai, but they're not enjoying the fights that they're in, it seems. Woodland Protectors, yeah, they should be able to match them quite nicely, but Elven King Palace Guard, most certainly not. That is not a fun fight for an Olokai. Elders of the Elven King still firing, though. Almost out? No, just repositioning. Where are they going, I wonder? I mean, over here, so you can just shoot down the line if you want, but the problem with Get Rekt's army right now is just, I mean, there are still some elites you can target, but there's just so many little holdouts of these mass units, so you kind of just want those elders firing away. If we can lead off the Melkor's Chosen, that'd be a good use. Like, just sacrificing one of your bows of Emendure to just lead off either of those units would be a decent sacrifice at this point, because that's going to be Get Rekt's real power here. There's nothing really to shut them down, so they can just cycle charge away willy-nilly. Orc Javi's still hammering on off. Oh god, that hurts. Yeah, okay, this is a good target for Get Rekt. Getting a nice sort of down that rank. Tough to miss, even with the pitiful Orcish accuracy there. They should be able to land some good hits. And if anybody's wearing a bit of armor in Mirkwood's roster, it's the Elders of the Elven King. Or these upgraded Elven King Palace Guard, of course, as well. They aren't upgraded on the field today, of course, but they're still pretty beefy either way. Mordor Chosen just getting ripped into. It looks like they're in shield wall there. It's just going to keep them steady, but yeah, I don't really like to use shield wall too much in like an open field. Ooh. What's Muffins? Is Muffins trying to charge through there? I don't know why he's doing that, but it's just resulting in him taking damage, which is a shame for those Palace Guard. They could be racking up a lot of kills. Yeah, they're pushing through. They're chasing the javelins. Yeah, I think he was just trying to shut down those jabs, and that might be his undoing there, unfortunately. Spears of Emendure broken. Getting smashed up by these colossal maces of the Melkor's Chosen. Sindar of the Girdle's still about. They can give the Melkor's Chosen a good run for their money, but they're not really able to deal with them. So it looks like he's just trying to counter the jabs. Taking fire from the Temple Guard though, and that's going to be a constant stream of pretty bad damage. Amazing little rear charge there on those Woodland Protectors, breaking them, fighting to the death. Yeah, taking them out nice and quick. And yeah, it is this wrecking ball of the Melkor's Chosen that I think might Get Rekt. Orc Fodder receiving a nice little charge. Yeah, still, they don't have a massive charge bonus, but they're cavalry units, so they can do an awful lot. If you hit a soft target, you can certainly do some good damage. Orc Fodder from behind right now, that's not too bad for those guys. Maybe, well, they would have gone for the Orc Javis, but that was the Sindar's job. This would be such a shame if these were all Sindar, but no, these are bows of Emendure that have sort of slammed into this previously. Orc Javis do pull out some little spears afterwards. Let's see how this goes. 138 down to 100. Yeah, that was a good hit, but Melkor's Chosen coming on and shutting down. Now maybe Sindar can charge them on the flank. And once again, I should emphasize, we're going through this slower. There's a lot going on for these guys. So we're always going to notice things that maybe should be done. This is a nice fight. General went in with the Ents. So your General, of course, benefits more from the unit that he's in. So if he's from a very powerful unit, he gains their stats. And he gains their hit points. So being in a unit of Ents makes your General kind of... he's got the stats of an Ent. Not quite. There is a limit. He's not quite as powerful as an Ent, but he is damn strong. And he's, yeah, so that's why a lot of people do choose to do it, especially in these 1v1s where every man counts. This General just racking up a lot more kills than he would if he was in any other unit might be the decider for him. Still, these sturdy... Oh, well, there we go. That's a damn shame. At least we spotted that before he died. But no, he's a goner now, and that might be a bit shaky. Elves of all sorts are going to be stoic until the end, but these are not the high elves of Imladris here. They're not quite that stern. Olakai still at 7. I don't know how we're dealing with them. Melkor's Chosen, 24 of them are remaining. And yeah, no, we still got 1,500 frames. So a lot can happen, but I don't know where we're getting the damage for. 122. I don't. That's a bit of a shame. They're probably scared by their own Olakai, in all honesty. When they get these sort of shock trooper Olakai crashing through the lines, it's not a surprise that some of your own troops do end up routing off. They're probably going to rack up a bit of friendly fire with those massive clubs just cracking you on down. I am very grateful that friendly fire is not a thing in melee. So you can't really suffer from the likes of a Mummikill charge barreling through your lines, unless, of course, they're running amok. Melkor's Chosen. I wonder what your target is. Only a few Inquisitors right now. Javi's still getting some damage done. Chasing down the last few of these bows of inventory. Some Greenwood Watchers there. Locked morale. Yeah, they're assassins. So assassins are locked morale. I think almost all assassins. Yeah, pretty sure. That's one of the traits of an assassin, is that they are locked morale. So they're going to be fighting to the end. Still, these Wardens of the Girdle, Elders of the Elven King. The issue, like, as good as these infantry units are for Muffins, and as much as I believe that they would be able to kill all of the infantry here, even the 18 Temple Guard if they didn't get shot up, it's the cycle charging of the Melkor's Chosen. That, I think, is going to be the end game here, and I don't think... there's still Javelins with ammunition. They were a damn good shot, and as I say, we'll go through Get Rekt's kills at the end, and so we can see sort of really what was it that won this for him. What was it that inflicted so much damage so quickly and so reliably throughout that battle? It was, you know, they made contact, and I suppose it was just the halberd line that Mirkwood does struggle with. If Mirkwood can't shoot up your halberd line, it's gonna be slowly beaten down, unless they've got the likes of their Hiriek and so on. They're more solid infantry, which was missing today. Relying more on the spears of Ementuir, who, you know, they could do some good work, as we saw, most certainly. More javelins, surely more friendly fire than anything else. Firing into the elders that they routed. No, that'll be that. 87% is certainly not bad for a 1v1, and especially when we've got a lot of these elite units fallen, just a lot of the Javies left. Let's see what we got going on. Ents there, yeah. 85 from them, a few killed by that general himself. Palace Guard, nice. Yeah, the Sindar. Oh, I'm actually quite surprised at those Woodland Protectors, 205. And it's a shame, maybe that was it. Maybe it was a case of just grabbing some of these Javelin Throwers, and we definitely saw some of those Greenwood Watchers, I think, still had a few daggers left as well. So perhaps that was it. Massive kills from the Elders and the Wardens of Amon Lank. Definitely a certain pick, but this is a surprise to me. I'd love to know how much of this was dealt by cycle charging and how much of this was actually dealt by just their ammunition as a whole. I'm not a massive lover of horse archers, but holy smokes, that's pretty impressive. I know a lot of it was orc fodder and orc javelins, but you've got to kill them. They've got to die, so it's still good. So we'll just jump over to Get Rekt's kills right now. Always fun to see just the numbers disparities in these sorts of matchups. So looking down through that, the Temple Guard just firing away constantly. Yeah, that's where I like to put my General 2. Executioners, able to sort of match those elves and then some. Halberds, okay. Rack up some alright kills there. Like 42 is about as good as I would be expecting. Those Maulers really got ripped apart. Sauron's well, though, actually did manage to get in there. Innisborgal Chosen taking a beating, but responding in kind. And then, wow, okay. I mean, maybe. That's alright. I thought more, though. I guess it was the quality that the... Oh, sorry. It was these two. Yeah, I guess it was the quality that the Javelins were generally firing into, but still, I would have thought more. Some of those orc fodder managed to catch those bows of Ementuir, but it's impressive all the same. But then, yeah, 219, 131 from the Olokai, and then, yeah, decent kills from the Inquisitors too. But I think that, yeah, it was Melkor's Chosen, the Olokai, and then, yeah, the Temple Boys. But we were pretty sure of that. So thanks, guys, and we'll catch the next one tomorrow.